Hello everyone. So today I'm going to make Maggie and I thought why not record the video while we making the Maggie. So this will be multitasking. And yes, I used to cook food earlier, but till the point when I have entered the college, I'm not preparing food because I live in hostel and in the hostel you get food. So yeah, I'm making Maggie for the what do you say? Something which is eaten in the evening time. You call it as not lunch, evening snacks. So I'm making evening snacks for me, and for that I am uh, chopping up the onions. And yes, once the onions are chopped, after that I will be cutting down some tomatoes, and after that the Maggie will be made. I don't know how do you all make Maggie, but when I make Maggie, I want some onions in there along with some tomato. So that enhances its taste, and I love it. Okay, now as I said, I used to earlier make food when I was preparing for my JEE examination. So let me tell you my story. So what happened is one day I was uh, my 10th board examination result arrived, and at that time arrived and yes, then I secured 95.6% marks in the 10th examinations, and then the classes starts in the school as usual. So I was going to the school for I went in class 11 for 2 days, 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks I have firstly sit in the mathematics class because everyone was sitting there. So I go there, but once I was there, I realized that the math is very difficult for me to understand at that time. So I was not able to cope up with the teacher, and the teacher was very strict. So I thought, why not to change the stream? Because some of my friends were also in the biology section. So I started sitting in the biology classes, and yeah, let me frame you again. So basically, what happens is when I was preparing for JEE, I used to make food, and the along with my brother. So we were making food, the entire food for three people, me, my brother, and my cousin brother, along with Mama. So we were making food, and in the food, what I made. So I used to make everything that you can think of. I used to make chicken, chapatis, parathas, pakoris, sabji, salad, roti, something called bati chokha in our place. So I used to make that also. So I was a complete cook at that time. So yes, and there were a lot of. I have not made food until that time. So those were my first initial experience of creating or making food. But what I have learned is that once you start uh, trying to learn things, it automatically comes in handy. You just have to put your time in that. So initially, I don't want to make food. So for 1 month, I don't used to make food because I think how will I do that, or something like that. But once I started creating that, it came into the flow. So this was the story, and there were various there were various incidents that happened in that learning journey. If I have to sum up or tell you some of those incidents, so some of those were okay. So I will be telling you what incident that is coming in my mind at this point. So one time I was there is rice. No, rice. No. There is pulses. So in the pulses, what you do is once the pulses are over, you try to add some tadaka in it. So I was doing that, and for that you have some utensils, and I poured some uh, ghee in that along with some things that are being added in there, and I forgot that it is being placed in the I forgot that it is being placed in that, and my gas stove is on. So what happened is that utensil was uh, totally get torn out, and yes, I was scolded for that too. This was the first incident. The second incident was I was boiling water. No water. I was boiling the milk, and as you know, when you boil milk, you have to constantly keep an eye on it, because if you do not, then what will happen eventually is it will flow off out of that vessel. So that is what happened with me also. I was not keeping an eye on it because at that time my examinations were there. So I just turn on the gas and the milk in there and started. Uh, I straightly went out on my study table and started studying. So I totally forgot that something is also being present in that stove, in that gas. So I totally forgot there. And after some time, a weird smell started coming out of that place where the kitchen is present. So I go there and I literally cried at that time because entire kitchen was filled with that entire sorry entire kitchen was filled with that water. uh, why I'm saying this, why entire kitchen was filled with that milk. And if you have smelled the burnt milk, you know how does it feels to, or how bad it is to smell. So that is what happened. And if I ask you some other incidents, so one time we were making the cutlet, and in the cutlet you need some you need a special dish, a special thing that you wrap it around. I don't know what it is called. So you use that basin. So you use basin in order to wrap those cutlet and then put it into the oil so that it becomes handy or it can be eatable. So at the lockdown time we decided to make that, but what happened is we didn't firstly check whether this basin thing is present or not. We started directly boiling potato and then started making it. And when the time of this thing happened, there was nothing. So at that time I cannot go outside also because it's lockdown time. So what we used to do, what we did is that, flour, the thing with which we make chapatis, we wrapped that tomato potato thing and then put it in the oil, and that was a complete disaster, I would say. Like the oil was wasted, everything was wasted. We just then think that okay, it is being wasted, so let's make chokha out of it and then eat it. So we created a chokha out of it, and then we eat that with chapatis. And this was the entire process. And for the process, what I am doing is this Maggie is being, the masala is being prepared, and after that I will pour this Maggie in there and then I will eat. So I will meet you after I finish this. Hello again. So the Maggie is kind of ready, and I usually like some juicy Maggie. Is ready to get served, and for that I have this bowl. And let me turn off the gas and the cylinder, and then pour out this Maggie out of it, and then we'll eat. And I don't know why I am recording this or what came in my mind when I was going to make this Maggie, because usually I kind of eat something at this point of time. And today, uh, urge came that let's record this, because usually I speak in the try to speak as trying to improve my communication. So I find this an opportunity to grab it. So I just did it, and this is how it looks. So yes, this is how it looks. And if I have to tell you that what I am currently learning, so you all know I am studying from the web dev cohort from the Chai code. So before the class, I decided to create a simple to-do list application so that I know concepts before the class, so that I cannot feel felt lost in that. And yes, as I am at my brother's place, so there is no my sitting table on which I can sit. So I have to be on bed all the time. And yes, I here you can see everyone is trying to prepare for something. So there is sticky notes everywhere. So I think that's it for today. I will be eating my Maggie along with watching some podcasts. And until then, bye bye.